Hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Estate Right Now. We talk about real estate matters that matter to you. My name is Jay Izzo, and we are live here from Lindencraft Team Realtors in Raleigh, North Carolina, part of the Greater Research Triangle Park. Today's show. Oh, golly, those inspectors, those inspections and repairs. Oh, my. No need to panic. I've got somebody here who's going to help take the panic and the anxiety and, well, maybe not all of it, but he's going to reduce the stress that we often feel from the inspectors coming in. If you're listing the house, you got an inspector going in your house, and what's he going to find? Oh my gosh, this is awful. And then if you're a buyer, you're going, oh, my hero, my inspector, he's going to find all the things that I wouldn't know, and so he's my hero. So you got these two sides that are looking at, got high anxiety, and then the anxiety starts when the buyer gets back the inspection report and they go, look at all this stuff. Oh my God. This house, there's no way we can buy this house. Okay, let's relax. I got Luke Mitchell here. Okay, he's from Home Cloud. They do both inspections and repairs. And he's going to help kind of relax us. It's okay. Just kind of relax a little bit. Deep breath. Everybody out there who's watching, just listening to me on the show right now, just go with me right now. So I'll take a deep breath. Okay. Inspections, deep breath. Okay, good. We got it. Good. Luke, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jay. Good to be here.
Yeah, but we got to reduce the anxiety because
I agree 100%.
There's a lot of anxiety. Home Cloud's new in the market.
That's right.
Coming in, and it's really new to the Research Triangle Park area.
Yeah, we've been here about 3 years now, but growing fast in the last year and a half.
And a lot of people don't know, they see a lot of inspectors, and you're a little bit different. Your inspection, it's not just an inspector team, right? You also have a repair team.
That's right. Yeah, we do both the evaluations and can do the repairs as well. We operate as fully licensed general contractors, so we can do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're fully licensed contractors.
That's right.
We're licensed inspectors.
We are not licensed inspectors. We are actually fully licensed general contractors where for the state of North Carolina, we're actually exempt from needing a home inspection license.
Okay, because you're contractors.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
We're in the same boat as structural engineers and architects.
Okay, so
yeah.
So you hear that? Step up.
That's right. Premium. It's a premium product.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're contractors.
Yep.
You're looking at this a whole different way.
100%. Yep.
Then maybe somebody who's just doing an inspection report, you're taking a look at this from a contractor's point of view.
That's right.
Very, very different.
Yep.
Okay, I know sellers, you're panicking now. Oh my gosh, what if they hire Home Cloud to come in, right? Let's try to put this all together at ease. There is a way called the pre-listing inspection.
On the sales side, yeah.
On the sales side.
Yeah.
Before that can reduce some
of that stress during the due diligence process and everything like that.
So let's talk about that process.
Okay.
Is it different than if a buyer hires you to do an inspection, or is it the same type of inspection?
Same type of inspection, same type of evaluation. We go in the home on the pre-list side, mark the defects, give the seller the repair quotes as well. Mm-hmm. So a lot of those things that the seller probably wants to fix are those safety functionality issues there, where that's going to come up on the buy side when they're during due diligence. Right. So you can really get ahead of the game, especially where the market is right now. Buyers having a little bit of the upper hand. Sellers can really get that taken care of in the front end to reduce the, oh gosh, when is the buyer going to get that evaluation done, that inspection done? When am I going to get that? When am I going to get that cost, for those repairs and everything like that? The seller can really do that on the front end as well.
So when you do an inspection, since they're contractors, we're still doing pre-listing inspections.
Yeah.
I don't want to confuse anybody. Still doing pre-listing inspections because they're contractors. Are they doing the estimates on the fly as they're doing the inspection?
Absolutely not. Two separate teams.
Okay.
So the the team that goes into the home, does the pre-list, or even, the buy side due diligence evaluation there. They're really good at finding those defects, marking those defects, collecting all the good data. At Home Cloud, we take over 500-600 photos and videos of the property when we're on site. We're collecting more data there. So that team's there. That team has nothing to do with the repair quotes. Totally separate team. We've split those out because we want, those team members that go into the home to evaluate, full-time employees, salaried employees, where they're not looking for more, less. We have a streamlined process. We've at Home Cloud, we've spent millions of dollars on our technology to really be able to provide an unbiased inspection at the end of the day. So same process on the buy or the list side, and those are two separate teams there. No, great question there.
Okay, so all right, so let's just stay with the pre-listing inspection. And because we're trying to reduce stress, that's our goal here.
100%.
We're trying to reduce your stress.
That's right.
All right. So on the listing side of it, so the inspection, they have the inspection. We're gonna get a list of items that we do in every inspection that recommended for repair. Some of them, but what people don't understand about inspections sometimes is they're just reporting what they see.
Correct.
They're not trying to make changes to anything.
That's right.
If they flip a switch and the light bulb doesn't work, it's not because the switch is bad. It could be because you didn't change a light bulb.
100%. It could be just the light bulb is out.
Right.
Yep, that's right.
It's not a repair that you can't do.
Yeah. You can fix that yourself at home.
Right. And there can be those things because that's not the inspector's job. The inspector's job is not to say, it is not to go, let me change your light bulb for you.
That's right.
Right. And so there's little things that you just, not paying attention to because you haven't thought about it. So let's stay calm there. And then on that pre-listing inspection, when you next team comes in to do, the estimates, does that estimate cost? What's that estimate cost?
No, that doesn't cost anything.
The estimate's free.
The estimate's free. Yeah. We're coming in, doing the evaluation and the inspection. All of our reports come with those free repair quotes. No obligation. They don't have to do any work with us. They just know they have those quotes in hand to be able to say, okay, hey, if I don't want to fix anything, this is how much it should cost in the future.
So I think this is an important point. Just because they do the inspection doesn't mean they have to use you to do the work.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah. No obligation from that standpoint. We're there to evaluate the home in an unbiased way, provide those quotes because they're going to be great for negotiations. Right. And a lot of times on the pre-list side, what we see is they want to do that pre-list inspection and evaluation to get those repair quotes, but they may also need to do make-ready repairs for the market. The house has been lived in 20 years. We know we need to rip up that carpet or paint the house. We can do that, and we have pay-at-close options. We know a lot of times with how the mortgage rates right now, somebody got into the home pre-COVID, they may have a very low interest rate where the equity's tied up in their home. They don't have the cash on hand to pay for those repairs. So we can do that, and improvements, we can do that. We have pay-at-close options there.
So there's pay-at-close options.
Absolutely.
Okay. Did you hear that?
So again, setting the seller at ease.
Right. Putting everybody at ease.
That's right.
There's a pay-at-close option. You go, I don't have the cash to pay for all these repairs. Pay-at-close option. Huh? See what I did there? See what he did there? I didn't do that. He did that.
Less stress.
Less
anxiety.
All right. So sellers, relax. Okay. No panic. All right. So then let's go to the buyer side.
Awesome. Yep.
Okay. Buyer side inspection. So now we're doing the inspection. Years ago, and I don't want to tell you how many because it's been a lot, when I was a buyer's agent, listing agent, right? Back in the day. Back in those days, when I would go, I had a buyer and I would say to the buyer, you don't have to be at the inspection. I'm going to be there. Right. And I would park myself at the kitchen table.
That's right. Yep.
With my laptop with a 14.4 baud,
old school
dial up through the cell phone. It was really, really slow. Yeah. We thought it was really fast, but it was really slow at that time. And, the inspector would do its thing, and then he would say, "Hey, we'll get the report to you out." And sometimes they actually printed the report right there. They had the
mobile printer.
Mobile printer, yeah. They'd have those mobile printers occasionally. What is your recommendation for a buyer and going to or not going to an inspection? What's your
I always tell buyers and agents, like, we want to make sure we have the full report, right? So if you're following that inspection, you come and you follow that the person around, and you're talking to them, they may miss something in the home.
Good.
From that standpoint. So we say, hey, and what we like to do is after we deliver the report, we have a review call with your buyer and agent.
Good.
We get up for every single evaluation we do. We can set up a review call that's going to be with your home expert, and they'll walk you through that whole report. It really takes the liability off the agent's plate, because traditionally the report is a bunch of legalese and contact license, general contractor, and things like that, where it may scare the buyer, where we want to walk them through that report. We strip out a lot of those legalese and CYAs and things like that because we come in the home, evaluate, diagnose, and give that repair quote as well. So it really puts the buyer at ease. We've seen agents contact us all the time, like, my buyers love the review call. Like, thank you so much. Like, they come with all their questions. Those review calls can last 20 minutes. They can last an hour and 20 minutes. We don't set a standard of, we got to be off at a certain point. Let's say in 2 days that we have one. In 2 days, they need another. They are like, I have a few more questions. They can log into their portal, click schedule a call, and we'll jump back on a call with them. So we're really, for the buy side, we're really putting that buyer at ease, because no house is perfect, right? Even new construction, and we know a lot of new construction going on in the Triangle. And, even new construction homes, there's going to be defects found in the home. So we really want to put that buyer at ease from that standpoint. So we do that for every buyer, and on the list side too, we can do that as well. But buyers really seem to really take hold of it and enjoy it. And let's say they move in too, and they're like, oh man, something doesn't seem quite right here. They can schedule another call with us. We've always felt like the inspection has been very transactional. And if you don't get that inspector 12, 24 hours after that inspection, like, you don't hear from them again. We want to be there throughout home ownership for you. From that standpoint. So that's how we handle that.
Well, I think it's very cool. I think it's a great note. I know that there's going to be first-time home buyers out there who are going, I want to be at the inspection, and I want to follow the inspector around, and I want to do everything around. Relax.
No. And if you do want to come, we say come at the end, so then we can actually, talk through some things there for you. But that review call is going to go through the whole report, because a lot of things happen after we leave the home, right? We're cross-checking recalls for all appliances. If, let's say, in 5 years the buyer moves in and there's a recall that happens, we're sending them a notification that says, hey, this appliance has been recalled. Here's the data. We're letting the agent, their agent, know as well, because it's a good, follow-up for the agent. And then here's the information to get that recall fixed. A lot of times with recalls, they can, they're going to be free. That the company has their person in the Triangle that will come and do it for you. So we just set that up for you.
That's really good, because, how many times do you buy a resale? Right. And there's and let's say the refrigerator or the washer and dryer come with the resale, and the person who registered it probably has lost the registration, and it was attached to their email, whatever it may have been. So then you come in and you have got, this is a GE fridge. This is
model
a
number, warranty information.
This is the LG washer dryer. And so you're already checking to go, hey, you bought this. I'm just letting you know, maybe it's a year from now. After you purchase the house, and you're going, hey, just want to let you know, we got a recall on this, or there's this defect that they found later on that you can get this replaced.
100%.
You're letting them know that.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We just had one happen 2 weeks ago. Scheduled a repair for the client. So that's where, and we're getting replacement parts. Even like our data, we go so deep in the home. We're like refrigerator. We're getting that water filter. We have a link where you can click on it, put it in your Amazon cart, and you have that. Even your air filter and things like that.
So that is so important. I can't tell you. I don't remember all the water filters
Exactly.
I have on my refrigerators.
Exactly.
I can't remember the number,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I literally have to go to my refrigerator, pull the water filter,
Yes.
and go, oh, it's that one. Yeah, right. And then,
and then you got to put it back in, and it's already needs to be replaced at that point.
Yeah, at that point. And then I'm putting a used one back in.
That's right. Yeah.
So to have that information up front going, I mean, can they log in and they find that?
Oh, absolutely. Right there in their portal. Yeah. They can click on refrigerator and it will have more details.
Oh, cool.
Or they can click on my water filter. They can click on the warranty information. They can click on replacement parts.
Right.
We have all that for them in their My Home Cloud portal.
Okay. So that's so cool, by the way. Yeah. I just think that's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing that we get from buyers quite a bit going, well, they don't even go up on the roof anymore. Because, back in my day, they used to bring ladders. Yep. They bought ladders and they would get up on the roof and they look. Liability issues have said
100%.
We had to stop that years and years ago. So just to let you know, they had to stop that years and years ago. How do you go about inspecting the roof?
Yep.
What's your process?
Absolutely. So we still bring a ladder for sure.
Really?
Yeah, we do. We do. We do, a lot of droning of the roof as well. 2-story house, we're not getting on the top of the roof obviously. Right. But we drone every roof. We get right on top of the roof there. Low, good angle shots so we can see those lifted shingles. If it is a 1-story house, we do bring the ladder and can get up there and kind of see as well from that standpoint, get some good data points. But one thing that we do after the fact that, really nobody does is we cross-check our roof photos with a database of 1,000 recalled roof shingles.
Oh, really?
The average, home inspector has probably only seen maybe 1 or 2 in their lifetime, where we can that's where we leverage technology to be able to cross-check and for those recalled shingles there and run that against the database.
And so you can run that against the database 100%. And find out, hey, this shingle has known to have some problems. Blah,
exactly.
Blah, blah. Oh,
exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you do the gutters too then?
Gutters, yep, all that. Yep, absolutely. Seeing the debris in the gutters.
Right.
A lot of times, if there's overflow of the gutters, a lot of times it's because that downspout may be clogged up or, the gutters has, debris in it, and you kind of see that water overflow. You can see that staining and everything. Yeah. So we get photos of all that and evaluate all that there.
Yeah. And with technology today, a friend of mine had his drone and he was doing roofs I'm on the homeowners association board, and the president had his drone going over every roof, right, and the gutters and looking to see. And the amount of technology today in terms of how much clarity.
Oh, crystal clear.
I mean, and you can blow these things up and
absolutely.
Get right down to the grain of dirt almost.
Yep. And see that little nail head that's sticking out that doesn't have any cover. Yep. That exposed nail head, all that.
And I think that's, people want to go, well, it would be better if they had a visual inspection. Can I tell you something, folks? This drone technology is so good.
Better than 2020.
They can see better than we can see with our eyes.
Yeah,
they just can't.
That's right. Yeah.
And so the drone technology. Yeah. So let's do.
And then from the roof standpoint, to make that point, like we're going in the attic and seeing the underneath as well.
Right.
So if there's any water staining or anything like that, the moisture meter, we bring in more tools than the traditional home inspector does from that standpoint, because we want to collect that more data for you. Yeah.
Click finding out. Okay. What is that moisture percentage?
That's right.
We're taking a closer look at that.
Water pressure. We check, high water pressure, talking plumbing really quick. High water pressure can, put stress on the plumbing system. So there's a standard there. So we check water pressure because we talk with a lot of plumbers, and that's the first thing plumbers do when they go into a home is check water pressure. Right. So there's a lot of things you can proactively do. If it's over 80 PSI, we want to turn that back down a little bit. Now there's a caveat there of, some people like high water pressure for their showers.
I may or may not be one of those people.
Right. Guilty as charged. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's just do the opposite. Let's go from the roof to the crawl space.
Yeah.
Okay. Because people want to know, okay, all right, because everybody talks about vapor barriers and they talk about moisture and mold and they're talking about, is it sealed or not sealed? When do I vent? When do I not vent? Oh my gosh. And I don't want to crawl in there. I mean, I'm a tall guy.
Yeah, I
do,
know. Yeah.
I do not want to crawl in my crawl space.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
That's fair.
don't want to crawl in there. It's not that I'm afraid of the critters.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there are critters.
There will be.
Yeah, there will be. Found a 6-foot black snake molt, in there. That might make you feel a little uncomfortable, right?
Yep. Look queasy. By
the way, great snake to have around.
Oh, absolutely.
Great snake to have around.
Yeah.
How do you handle the crawl space?
Yeah, we're going into all four corners. We're going deep in that crawl space. From that standpoint, we take over 150 photos of the crawl space when we go in, really guiding the homeowner almost through a virtual tour of the crawl space. Cool. So they can see every corner, the piping underneath, the drain waste pipes, HVAC, if they're in there. We're doing all that, collecting all that there. And really the homeowner can go back, because a lot of times with the crawl spaces, you only see the photos of the actual defects traditionally.
Right.
We're showing you everything.
Right.
Really being able to walk them through that, the exposed wiring, the DIY wiring, and things like that.
Nothing like the DIY wiring. Absolutely beautiful stuff.
It is, and it's pretty common, unfortunately. So, but yeah, so we're going through there. And again, if there's moisture in the crawl space, or vapor barrier is not covered, we're going to call all that out. And a lot of times what happens especially on the crawl space side, let's say there's a little bit of moisture, and we can see it's the drain waste pipe and flush the toilet and it's right there. Yeah. We can see it. It's about a $350 fix. It's not a huge deal from that standpoint. Right. And that costs us the buyer to eat, like, oh, I got water in the crawl space. Well, hey, no need to fear. It's actually, this is the actual issue here. Right. Whereas you go get a quote from a crawl space company and it's going to be a $20,000 encapsulation, no questions asked. Like that's what at Home Cloud, we're there to diagnose diagnose the issue and give you a fair repair quote. Because we want to be fair to both sides of the deal. So that's where we come in and really, like, let's say we go in, there's moisture in the crawl space, but there's no gutters, no well vents. Right. Those were things that we would want to get adjusted first, before it's a full encapsulation. Now you can do that as well. Not a problem. And we can quote that out as well, but from solve the problem, the solution may not be that full encapsulation or anything like that.
Okay. All right. Let's move out of the crawl space. We're done with the roof. We're done with the crawl space. Let's talk about another big, huge item. The AC and heat.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Oh, it is.
It is. By the way, we're about to replace one.
Oh,
it's expensive. Yeah. That's a lot more than we thought it was going to be to replace that.
I think you probably need a quote from us then.
It's very, very expensive to replace an entire unit. They're older. They're 20 some odd years old.
Okay. Yeah. So,
I mean, the Freon, we're fortunate to find somebody who still has the Freon.
Oh yeah. You got the old Freon. Yeah.
Yeah. The old Freon. Yeah. I mean, that's how old this is. Mm-hmm. And it's leaking. There's no more repairs. We just have to replace it.
It's time. It's just time.
It's time for the old boy to kind of go away. That's just all this. How do you handle the air conditioning, heating units? What's the process? Because it's different. It's got to be different because you guys are contractors.
Yeah.
So that's got to be a little bit different process.
Yeah. So it's still visual. We're checking to make sure, the heating and cooling work. There's a differential there that we want to make it. 14, I think is it 14 the 10
number?
10 to 14. Yeah.
10 to 14 I think is the number.
So we want to check all that. We get that data on the appliance, on the actual system, so we can get age and things like that as well. But yeah, when our field team goes in the home to evaluate, it's visual. Yeah, it's visual from that standpoint. If it's past its useful life, we'll let you know that and things like that. HVAC. It could break at any time, especially if they're old. Like I was talking to a seller the other day, and their HVAC unit is 35 years old. Yeah, still pumping, still working great. Right. They've changed some components in it, but it's still working really well. Right. So if, from a buy side, even if it's past its useful life, yeah, you could, try to negotiate on that. But if it's working, like we can't future cast to see
how long it's going to go.
Yeah, how long it's going to go from that standpoint. But we want to give you as much data and points of that as much as possible. No.
Okay, so we've done the outside. I know the visual that we're going to look for wood rot and things like that at houses. We're going to do that type of thing. Everybody's going to do that. I want to go on the inside, and I want to talk about the things that we don't see. And here's the things that we don't see: plumbing and electrical.
Yeah.
You guys are contractors. So how are you handling looking at the plumbing and the electrical? How do you guys handle that?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, visual that day. But at the same time, if we, like, let's say that light switch doesn't work, we typically know, like, hey, it could be a light bulb or it could just be the actual switch. So we're giving that repair quote to put that buyer at ease. Like, there's not a huge electrical issue or anything like that. Looking through the panel, older house, we're looking behind that panel as well for the wiring and things like that. So we're really taking a deep dive from that standpoint. On the plumbing side, we're seeing all the pipes, right? We're looking at the echelon pipe and seeing what kind of piping is behind that a little bit, because there could be, some piping that, buyers typically don't want to see in the home and things like that.
Right.
So we're really taking a deep dive there as well to make sure that all's functioning properly from that standpoint. Absolutely.
Some of the older homes have the polybutylene pipe.
That's right.
And people want to panic.
They do.
It's not the piping itself. It's the fittings.
Typically it's the fittings. If you see the good fittings, you can rest assured, but that polybutylene piping, it can become brittle with oxygen. So that is something that, if we do see the proper fittings there, that does put the buyer at ease. Absolutely.
Let's talk about radon. Do you guys do the radon inspection too?
Yeah, we radon, termite, pool inspections. We did elevator inspection the other day.
Oh, really? You do the elevator inspections too?
Yeah. So, and we have vendors for all that. Absolutely.
Okay. So now that let's say we've inspected the house, the buyer gets support, and you talk about that you're going to have this buyer or seller consultation that you're going to take either 20 minutes or hour and 20 minutes or whatever it takes.
That's right.
To get that done. In that consultation, what is the overriding goal for you and the person, whether the buyer, the pre-listing, what's the goal there for you guys?
Education from that standpoint to answer any of their questions. And we know, like, as soon as that buyer gets the report, they start reading through it. Yeah. And they're like, well, what is this going to cost me?
Yeah, that's the question. That's where I'm going.
That's the end goal, right?
Right. Yeah.
So with Home Cloud, we're giving you those repair quotes with the report, and it really puts the buyer at ease, right? We kind of break those repair quotes into now versus later. Now items are, those safety functionality issues, but during that review call with the buyer or seller, we're really wanting to answer their questions. We're giving recommendations like, hey, like, you're pretty handy. We run across sellers and buyers that are very handy and they can fix some things themselves. Like, these are the things that we would focus on. But buyers and sellers, they're all different, right?
Right.
What's important to one buyer may not be important to another buyer. So, whatever, like, so that's where they bring their questions to us. We can help, kind of educate and recommend. But ultimately, whatever the buyer wants to negotiate on or anything like that is really, really their choice at that standpoint.
So when you do the report, and then we're just trying to educate you here on what the report may look like. Do you list, like, these are priority items based on our opinion versus, these are lower priority items, or is it all pretty much the same?
It's standardized. So, like, functionality and safety are things that, we deem a now defect, right? They're in that summary on a, traditional report and everything like that. The cosmetic scratches and dings, those are later items. You just need paint and you're in good shape there. But it's standardized across the board. Like, what we recommend as a now issue are those safety functionality issues that a buyer's going to want fixed before they move into the home. So that's where they can, really negotiate from that standpoint. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think often what happens in the inspection report where things just, there's a source of contention at times with the inspection report. I think there's an anxiety in what they see versus what's important.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because sometimes we focus on the aesthetic part of it.
Yep.
But okay, that's paint and carpet. That's aesthetics.
Yep. My hardware floors are scratched, though. No worries. That's the sand and stain.
Yeah, that's a sand. Yeah. It's not a defect in the house. It's just normal
wear and tear
that happens.
Yep.
House settles too. Houses do settle.
That's right.
How do you handle the house settling thing?
Yeah,
because you guys are contractors.
We see cracks all the time, right? They're not, we see them as, all concrete cracks. Right. You can walk anywhere in concrete. You can see a crack in the concrete. If we do see that and it's, less than, eighth of an inch or anything like that, we're not, typically as concerned. Now, if it's a larger crack, going in between brick, going down the center of bricks and things like that, or stone, we'll call that out. Sometimes if, the buyer does want, somebody else, an engineer, to come in to evaluate, they can. 9 times out of 10, it's not really needed because, all concrete cracks. I mean, it's just a fact of life at that point from that standpoint. So we do put that buyer at ease of like, hey, especially on slab houses, right? Slabs, we see like, the crack. Sometimes that's where they actually, they cut concrete. Yeah. They cut concrete so it will crack.
So it could expand and
So if you see that, on the side, that may be actually where, they cut it for that purpose. From that standpoint. And we don't want any water, so we recommend sealing those from that standpoint, especially on the outside of the house. Even inside the house with the sheetrock lines, the cracks in the sheetrock. A lot of times that's just where the house is settled, and that's just a fill and paint.
So there's going to be people who are going to ask probably the question of, okay, what if people have painted over something that is a problem or that was a problem? How do you guys go about looking for that or looking to see if there's something that may have been covered over and take a look? How do you guys handle that?
Yeah. So if we see, a lot of times what we've seen is kind of fun, we always recommend if somebody does want to do paint, full wall, but a lot of times sellers will just do touch-ups. So if there's an area on the ceiling or anything like that that's been kind of touched up in a way, we'll collect extra photos of that. And again, we can't future cast, but we can, draw attention to be like, hey, this does look like they've done X, Y, and Z here. But again, we don't want to future cast or scare the buyer anyway. It could just be where, they just wanted to paint over. Let's say they painted, a wall and they ding the wall with blue paint and they just want to paint over that from that standpoint. Absolutely.
So let's move to the repair team a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's talk about the repair team a little bit. So we've done the consult. We've gone through the entire inspection report. Repair team. How does that work? How do they engage the repair team? How do they come in? How do they handle that? What do you all handle?
Everything.
Okay. I mean, so it could be aesthetic, but it could be
HVAC. It could be, replacing toilets and plumbing fixtures, seals. Light fixtures, seals, all that. Yeah. Yeah. Our project management team is great. They do, a lot of work for us from that standpoint. They're always busy, which is a good thing there. So all you have to do within your home cloud portal, let's say that you do want, you move in, right? And, or, you go to the negotiating table, and because these are such fair quotes, the seller may say, hey, I don't want to do a credit. Could we engage with home cloud to do the repairs? And, the buyer's like, well, heck yeah, this is my person. So they can come in and do it. Any repair work we do, we also offer a 1-year warranty.
Oh, wow.
So on the sell side, let's say we fix that leak in the crawl space or, moisture damage, whatever that may be, we're actually able to extend that warranty to the buyer as well. Right. So let's say it goes under contract that we do the work. Month 1, go past, it goes under contract. Month 2, the buyer's in the new house. they have another 10 months to be able to utilize that warranty there. But to engage the repair team and the project managers and get the repairs done, again, technology, log into your portal. You can drag and drop those items into your home cloud bucket, click send to home cloud when you get a full scope of work, and we're going to give you a call within 24 hours to get those repairs scheduled and complete. Again, because we want to make it stress-free, seamless from that standpoint, right? To be able to provide great service, less stress throughout home ownership.
Well, I'll tell you what, this has been a lot of fun. I think you've taken a lot of panic and stress away. Thanks everybody for watching, and the thumbs up and the loves and everything that you guys have given us. Thank you for doing that. This has been a lot of fun, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I agree. I love talking, evaluations and repairs, because at the end of the day, it's, we want to help homeowners, right? Sure. New homeowners, throughout home ownership, less stress from that standpoint. But and so just such great information from it. So here's the part of the show where you get to tell people, how do they find you? Yeah, absolutely. So you can find us at gethomecloud.com. That's gethomecloud.com. You can email me directly at luke@gethomecloud.com as well. We got a phone number down at the bottom of that website as well, but you can, schedule.
Do you have that phone number?
Oh, yeah. They can, call me at 919-920-6084. That rings directly to my phone from that standpoint.
So there's a rule. In podcasting, radio, TV, you have to say the number more than once.
Oh, well, okay. 919-920-6084. That'll ring directly to me. And happy to chat with you more about Home Cloud and what we do, our process, how we evaluate and execute from that standpoint.
Get Home Cloud, GET.
That's right.
HOMECLOUD. Yes, I can spell.com. And it's Luke at Get Home Cloud, GET, right? HOMECLOUD.com. Great way to get in touch with him. Luke, you've been outstanding. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
It's so much
Always
fun.
a pleasure.
It's so much fun. It's great to see you again, by the way.
Absolutely.
It's been a long time.
I know.
All right, folks. It's a show, you know what I say to you every week. You have a lot of choices. You chose us. Thanks for doing that. We appreciate you for doing that. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Wherever you're listening to this show, on podcast, give us a 5-star review. We'd love to have it. Also, feel free to always ask us, hey, listen, could you do a show about whatever you're interested in? We're happy to do it. If you have questions for Luke, as Bobby Carroll has just said, Luke's a great dude. So if you have questions for Luke, remember, it's Luke at gethomecloud.com. He's happy to do that as well. And you can get more information, but we'd love to hear what your suggestions for the show are. We're happy to do that. As I say this, and I say it with all earnestly all over the world, ciao, everybody.